It is Talking Transfers. We're off Zoom, we're back in person. I've got Paul Gore's gorgeous face in front of me, of course, from the Liverpool Echo. We've got some lovely lattes in Brasco, and we're going to talk, well, transfers. We'll hook it into the game last night because we were both at the game. Yeah. Both working, of course. You probably harder than me, but both sort of at the game. So I'm going to use the areas of the pitch to talk about, you know, some links and some things that had been going on, you know, stories coming out of the transfer window. So I'm going to talk about Zubimendi. We will sort of come to that when we sort of talk about the midfield, and I'm going to talk about the forwards and a couple of players who've been leaked out and indeed in as well. But we'll start with the defence because they have been leaking a few goals. Konate has come back in, but not looked quite right. Obviously, he gets taken off, you know, because of the fact that he's sort of coming back from injury and they're trying to manage him, of course. But it was interesting seeing Jamie Carragher after the game, you know, tweeting quite positively about the result, but saying, like, basically that he thinks Liverpool need to buy a defender in this window. Yeah. I mean, first of all, do you agree with that? And secondly, is there any names coming out that might be possible?
Yeah, I think if Liverpool are going to do something this month, for me it's always been in the midfield. I mean, we know Lautaro Endo is a very, you know, dedicated, loyal servant and great professional and all that sort of stuff, but he hasn't started a Premier League game yet, has he? And Ryan Gravenberch seems to be getting run into the ground a little bit too much at the moment. Obviously, he had that bit of a rest over the weekend and stuff, but he's played a lot of minutes. Yeah. After someone who came from Bayern Munich having not featured at all really in the season he was there, and then was on the fringes last season under Klopp. It's been a little bit of a jolt to the system, I'd imagine, playing so often. So for me, if Liverpool were to do one position this month, it would be in midfield. But I can understand the calls for the centre-back as well. I mean, Jarell Quansah doesn't quite look the player he was last season. Maybe a lot of that is to do with rhythm and momentum and all that sort of stuff, having not been a regular. Joe Gomez, a bit unfortunate with the hamstring injury, wasn't he? Because I thought he did well when he sort of deputised for Konate from Real Madrid onwards. But yeah, I think Van Dijk and Konate as a pairing are great, really. You know, when they both got, you know, minutes together and, you know, good run of games behind them. I think you start to see how good Liverpool can be defensively, and we saw that sort of November time, didn't we? But I can see where Carragher's coming from, you know, buying a centre-back. He'll know more about me than I will and centre-backs. But for me, it's always been midfield if Liverpool to do something this month. But if we're being optimistic, you don't have to do just one position, I guess.
Well, they'll be looking at it everywhere, and that's what they always say, won't they? They always say that they're looking out there, and if they feel like they can make an improvement, and if a deal makes sense, that they'll do it. And so I guess they're sort of looking at no position and every position, really. Yeah. So it's just as likely to be sort of a defender in or a midfielder if they feel like it's, you know, it is possible someone's out there.
Yeah, no, that's it. But I mean, I guess that's the case for every club, really, isn't it? Liverpool, all well and good saying that they're studying the market and stuff, but who isn't this time of year? So that probably neither here nor there on their behalf, I guess. But I suppose the good news is they're not absolutely crying out for additions, are they? It'd be nice to, for some people's perspective anyway, it'd be nice to sort of build from a position of strength this month. Premier League leaders, Champions League leaders, and really sort of consolidate. And I think we've all seen the impact January signings can have at Liverpool. Yeah. You know, going back to Daniel Sturridge and Philippe Coutinho, Van Dijk, obviously, Luis Suarez was January, wasn't he? So this idea that it's a bit of a seller's market doesn't really hold up. I think you can get the right players in, but by the same token, you don't have to be doing something just for the sake of it. So I can see both perspectives, but I've always said that if Liverpool are to do something this month, ideally, for me anyway, I'd like to see it in midfield because, like I say, with Endo, he's a good squad player to have around the place, but clearly Slot doesn't think he's in his plans, you know, properly. So if these are to be the last 6 months of Endo's career, then, you know, does it hurt looking to bring something forward from the summer? And we're obviously going to come on to Zubimendi, aren't we? So
well, let's do it now because it was interesting, wasn't it? Because obviously everyone knows what happens in the summer. It was well documented. Liverpool think they're close. Then the player has a late change of heart, shall we say. Liverpool's reaction to that was sort of less sure on. You know, you've obviously we can see how well Gravenberch's playing. There's been a little bit of a talk. It's sort of less of a priority because of how well that's done. Yeah. But as you say, it still doesn't look like we've got loads there who the sort of manager trusts. So you'd expect it to be a position that they're still looking at. But whether it's him, whether he's fell down the pecking order, a little bit of Liverpool, they might have even been a bit put off by the fact that he sort of knocked them back. I don't think they would be. I think they'd be grown up to realize, you know, if they still wanted to play, to sort of go in. But it is possible that you know, that he saw him getting cold feet and thought, well, maybe he's not the right one. You know, it's probably more likely that because Gravenberch has done so well that he sort of see it as less urgent, or even maybe the profile of the player, that they're after changes a little bit because Gravenberch sort of has done well. But the Arsenal stuff did come out of nowhere. But then I did see a bit later on, I don't know if you did, you were probably travelling to Forest, a bit out of Spain, to suggest that, you know, it's not nearly as close as what was.
YouTube, press the button, become a member of the Anfield Wrap from the heart of the city of Liverpool. The best way to enjoy all your Liverpool-based videos, everything you need, every single day. It is the Anfield Wrap.